Okay, welcome back to the channel. So today we're at the final step of tearing this 76 FLH down. I have the motor out. Today we're going to be taking the transmission out, and that should be it before I can roll this outside. I bought some gunk engine degreaser, and a couple days it's going to be 70 degrees out, so I'll take it outside and we'll power wash it. I also bought some Simply Green to run over the whole frame, and we'll get this thing clean, and then we can start actually doing some work on it since the bike is pretty much completely stripped down. So, all right, let's take a look what we got. So we got the transmission out. I already got the chain off and everything because getting new gears for this, getting a new O-ring chain. So I took a lot of this stuff off, the headlights, the spotlights, turn signals, everything is gone. I'm going to pull I don't know if I'm going to pull the hand controls off this yet. I probably will because I want to actually service the front brake. So I'll probably do that before I pull it outside. However, I've got a small thing that I got to deal with because on the skid plate, somebody hit something and bent this bolt. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get a Dremel and cut that off because there's no way that it's going to turn. I've tried turning it and it just doesn't want to do anything. So it took me quite a while to get this stator off. The tool that they give you to take the stuff off really didn't work that well because the magnets were stuck to the rotor. So what I ended up doing is I ended up having to drill. I'm getting rid of this anyway, so I don't care if I damaged it, but I had to drill bigger holes, and I had to use this puller here to get in there, and then it came off because, like I said, the magnets were all stuck around this rotor. They weren't attached to the stator at all. So, all right, so we're gonna pull the transmission out. Here's one of the things that happened with this bike. Whoever painted this bike, and you can tell this bike was repainted because they painted over the mounting pads for the engine, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why there was so many grounds on this bike. Is because they painted these over and didn't bother to wire brush this paint off because these points are where the motor grounds to the frame. So I'm going to have to get a Dremel or something and get all this paint off so we have nice clean grounding for that. So let's take a look. Let me show you something on the motor that I found out today, the other day. So you can pull the motor up. I still got to get this clip out. If we lift this up, there's where the JB weld was. So somebody had actually welded maybe a hole there. I'm not really sure, but it was probably weeping a little bit. Actually, you can see oil that's kind of coming out from there, but so they probably put JB weld over to close the weld up rather than grinding that down and re-welding it. They just kind of left it. So it's good news that there's not a big hole there. So I think the shop that's going to do the lower end on this can probably just grind that down and maybe put some more weld on it to fix that. What else we got on here? Oh yeah, I did find out that in taking the cam out, that this is actually Andrew's cam with one of their cam gears. So I went on the site. Let me see if you can put it into here, see if you can see it. So it does say Andrew's 106011, and then the cam gear is 102563. So there's nothing on Andrew's site with these numbers. They all start with 2. So this could probably be an older cam. So I sent a email to the technical support, see if they could send me any kind of spec sheet on this cam. It doesn't look like it's been used that much. It looks like it's in really good shape, the lobes. I'm not really seeing any marks on this. So pretty good. So, all right. So we'll be set up and we'll take the transmission out. Okay, so one thing I want to do is I want to take this nut off because I'm going to replace this gear. Plus it's all rusty. See if I can bend this down. All right, I think there's only 3. think I'm going to have to get my impact back out. Let me get some grease for this. This must be a left hand. I didn't bother to check the manual to see what it was, but it's got to be probably left hand again. So I got to get my impact. Okay, so that's coming off. Wrong way. So get rid of that. So I got the, I went down, the shop called me that's doing the, yeah, maybe this is leaking. This is where I actually thought I was getting a lot of oil. You can see some oil down here because the pan right there is full of oil, but it's all kinds of oil up here and grease, and so this gear is going to be replaced because I'm going with a whole nother setup. All right, so we can take the, and I know one of these bolts for the mounting plate is stripped, so we're going to have to address that. See if I can get the drain plug back in there. What did I do with it? This is not the original transmission. 34702, it looks like, oh, it says 6.5, so yeah, that's probably right when I thought it said 8.5. It's probably why they had it all gummed up with RTV. See if we can fix that. So let me check this number right quick. So the number on the transmission should be Y1450, but this is, it's probably on here somewhere, but it does say 3470365, which just means it's the casting number, so I don't know where I'm going to find that number. I don't know if you can see that right here. I'm just going to get the camera in. You can see it right here. Let me turn this a little bit. 3470365. So this is probably the correct transmission. I don't know where they get that number at. This is the only number that I haven't found yet. Maybe once I clean all this gunk off it, we'll be able to find the number on here somewhere. And then we're going to power wash this too. I just have to take the speedometer and put the cable back in and block that off so no water gets in there, because I'm going to crack the cover on this to see what's going on with it. Wait a minute. Here it is. U1450. But it says U1450. But what they gave me was Y1450. Is that a Y or a U? It looks like a U. So I don't know what the significance of that is. I probably can't see it, but it's right here. It says U1450. They gave me Y1450. But this is the correct transmission for this. It came out in '65. The casting, which is, 4-speed. So this is the correct one. So it looks like this bike is a totally numbers matching bike. I don't know where they get the U from. Maybe that was just a misprint on their end. I'll have to look that up to see what the difference between Y and U is. So let me put this over on the other bench. All right, I thought I was going to be able to cut this bolt off, but for some reason I don't have a thing for my cutoff wheel, so I'm going to have to get out and get something. I don't want to use a hacksaw because it'll take frickin' forever to do it. So you can see the amount of dirt that's on the plate. Everything's just covered with dirt and gunk, and be nice to get this thing cleaned up, power wash, and get all the oil and gunk off everything. Again, there's nothing up here that's, get this over here, nothing up here that's, this should be bare metal. So everything is grounded together. Although the transmission doesn't necessarily need to be grounded, but it just makes, you know, continuity on everything. So I'm not seeing any issues with the frame, seeing nothing cracked, nothing out of place. Let me take this off. And you can see the amount. So the bottom of the engine's leaking. I can see the case is leaking. This is all sand and dirt and everything like that. Got a lot of dirt up here, so it's going to be good to get this thing cleaned so I can actually do some work on it. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm not going to bother showing me cutting that screw off. There's no point in that. So the next video is going to be probably power washing this bike. I haven't decided if I'm going to take the hand controls off yet. I'm still debating that. I probably will, but I don't know. We'll see. So once we get this power washed, then we can start working on the rear end, the front end, get the wheel bearings changed, get the races changed, and actually start putting this back together. Because by the time you see this video, I'll already have the heads and the cylinders back. I went down there yesterday to look at at one of the heads that he vapor blasted, and I'm not going to have it painted. They came out perfect the way they are with just the aluminum. So the cylinders should be back. They're going to bore those out. It looks like the 60 over, and we're going to cera coat them after they vapor blast them, and they're going to stick them in some kind of solution to get all the crud and junk off them. Then they're going to vapor blast them, then they're going to cera coat them in high gloss black. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.